businesses lose millions of dollars from healthcare fraud and, with the incorporation of AI and the adoption of AI. So a great security engineer, they think like the attacker because we have to solve things proactively. So in the information security we will fall under a blue tick. You have red team is going to be like your pen testers, your hackers, ethical hackers, things of that nature. So we have to think like proactively. How do we stop this threat before it even happens, before it even matriculates into something that could tear the business down?
You always got to verify.
You always got to verify. So we go back to the CIA triad, right? Integrity. Integrity is the I in the CIA triad.
Look, you probably have a security plus, maybe even a security clearance, and nobody taught you how to write poems, or how to test a security control, or submit an ATO package. I'm Chris Akpala. A few years ago, I was in your shoes, qualified on paper, but completely lost when it came to RMF. I had a degree, I had the certs, I had the drive, and when somebody said how to test the AC2 control or validate stick findings, I had no clue what that actually looked like. Fast forward 5 years, I worked across DoD and federal agencies, led control assessments, written ATO package, and passed audits. That's why I built RMF Academy, to teach you the real-world execution. They don't cover in certification books. Inside, I'll show you how to write a poem and don't get badge back. Test and validate security controls, translate tech jargon, navigate NIST 853 and RMF with confidence. If you're in IT supporting the government systems or stuck on the edge of cybersecurity, this is your way. The people who go through my training don't just get hired, they hit the ground running because they practice the work before day one. Go to rmfacademy.io and let's get to work.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Tech Woke Podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Akpala. I'm an information system security officer inside the GovTech space. And in today's podcast, we're going to talk more of the young generation in the cybersecurity space. I met a young brother. His name is Donovan Surgick. He's in the healthcare tech space. He's a mentor. He's a community leader. And he gives back. And he knows a lot when it comes to cybersecurity and how to get inside the space. And without further ado, Donovan, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, there's no problem. Like, when my girlfriend, Shade, introduced me to talked about you, he was just talk about, the things you've done in the past, talked about like, you'll be a good fit, and talk about like, in tech and how you took the different path to get into tech. So now I appreciate you coming on the podcast. And I know it's on a Saturday, so I appreciate you again.
No, well, when Shade kind of connected us and, I was more than willing to do this. Opportunities don't come often. So when you have that, you kick in the door.
Yeah, and I appreciate you taking it really, really, really serious, because I know, like, I know I can be nonchalant.
No, it's not. It's just that I wasn't expecting like you to have this like very lax demeanor, like talking about like these high level topics. But I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Sometimes in tech, you talk about anything like IT related. Sometimes it just gets real black and white. So I feel like with your demeanor and just how you approach this, like you just add the color.
And I appreciate you, because this is stuff. It's not no joke. It's really high level stuff.
Yeah.
And I be here sometimes confused. That's why I kind of created it. Sometimes I ask questions that I don't even know.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go straight into it. Like, so tell me about when you was in high school. Tell me about your early life. Did you always want to get into tech? We'll start there.
So I'm pretty sure like a lot of younger folk that's gonna view this video can relate to what I'm about to say. But I've been using computers for as long as I remember. I think my mom said she saw me on a computer at like 2.5 years old or something like that. So from there, then playing video games. Growing up, Xbox was my favorite. So playing Xbox, just playing the video games, just kind of already just being comfortable, like more technically inclined than others would. And then I actually went to McKinley Tech.
Oh, you went to McKinley Tech?
I literally went to McKinley Tech.
Oh, okay. Nah, that's a good school to get. You got to write an essay to get in there.
Yeah, we had to do a lot. But I had this class, I want to say it was either my 11th grade or 12th grade year. My teacher, Mr. Sahir, he actually taught me how to use HTML and CSS. So that was a pivot. Like my introduction to tech was like, I had a lot of pivots. My introduction to what I do right now, it was just like a journey, like ups and downs, pivots, doing one thing, trying out a few things. But that was a very like pivotal moment. I would say it's a canon moment in how I approach this right now.
And I love what people say canon moment because you're a Spider-Man fan. Yeah, so like even learning that at a young age, like it could really blow your mind because even when I was in college, somebody taught me the fundamentals of hacking, and he was teaching. I was like, dang, even that blew my mind. I'm like, somebody can literally be dangerous with a computer, and you could change your whole life with it. So with that knowledge from going to McKinley, and McKinley's a good school. Shout out to McKinley. You went to college. I know you went to Howard. No, you went to UDC. So what was your major?
So I actually did want to go to Howard. My original plan was just to do UDC for 1 year and then transfer to Howard, you know. But I think I stayed because why go to Howard to study information technology when a lot of the coursework is going to be the same, you know. So I studied information technology to answer your question. And actually now I'm 5 years removed from UDC. They actually offer cybersecurity as a major now. So this is great. This is great. Yeah, so it's like, and I believe the reason why they do that now is because cybersecurity is such a hot topic now in today's time. It's 2025, like you can't go without either cybersecurity.
Yeah, even with schools now, they try to offer cybersecurity. But the only issue is I have with some schools offering it, this information they have is so outdated.
Yeah.
You know? Or like you don't get no certs. But even the certs is getting too many certs. I think Western, what is it? Some I think Western Gunners or G, whatever that is, they offer like they offer you like 20 certs. I'm like, they won't get you no job. That's more of a red flag to me.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, like, it's hundreds of certs out there, right? But if you're trying to get one specific role, so say if you're trying to get into the security engineering space, look at that job description. Only get the certs that they tell you to get, right? Because that'll save you so much time and it'll save you so much money, especially if you're not already in the role. So where a company can actually pay for that certification for you. So now you're looking from anywhere from like $200 to $300, maybe like $600 per certification.
So what was your major in college? I didn't catch that.
Information technology.
Information technology. So what did you learn in that major?
So my first few classes in my major, when I started doing coursework in my major, it was mainly, my first language I learned was C++.
Oh, so they actually teach you programming?
Yeah, they taught programming, but I hated it.
I hate it, but I got to learn it myself.
Yeah. C++ wasn't my...
That's the hardest one.
C++, it wasn't my forte. And then, you go through more, it's like, you got your core classes, your electives and things of that nature. I eventually came across like security or networking, and that's where I kind of fell in love with. That was another pivotal moment for me. That was another canon moment. When we talk about canon moments, that was another canon moment.
Okay, I see you. So you learned the networking and you got all that. So like when you was in UDC, like how did you like when did you start to make your pivot? I mean, of course you need a job. Like when did you get your first job or opportunity?
So half of my first 2 years in UDC, I was actually I was working in our student center. I was working in our student center. It wasn't till I was doing that, and then I was also working at Department of Employment Services. So like I wasn't doing anything really tech related at all.
Did that throw you? Did that make you feel bad?
It kind of. I realized like it's a journey. It's going to be a journey to get to where you are. And back then, I was just trying to get a help desk role.
Yeah, and that's the thing people don't tell you about. Like you do all that, and you can't even, you get a degree, you spend like 20, 30,000, and then you get sad because you're like, what did I do wrong? Because I was in your space. For me, I was in college. I didn't think I was even smart enough to even major in that type of stuff. And I know when I say it like that, but it's just what my environment I grew up in. So continue on that path. What happened after that?
So I was just at the Department of Employment Services, I would just try to just talk to as many people as I can, use it as an opportunity to network. Like you work any job, you got to learn something from any job. Even if it's not a job you want to work, like you can pull something from where you're working. Somebody knows something.
Yeah, like I tell people, and people told me you can learn something even from a homeless man.
Yeah.
They'll tell you something.
Absolutely. The best people to teach you are the people, I'm not saying that the homeless man failed.
Yeah, they ain't failed, though.
Like the best teachers are somebody that's actually going through something.
Yeah. So you found some mentors there, and then they helped guide you to another world, or
So through networking at the DOES and just talking to people in my school.
yes,
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you did the summer job program.
So I was one of the people that like went to the summer sites and then
Okay.
I went to go talk to the site leaders and seeing how everything was going, and they brought me back to it.
I'm glad I was doing that. I did summer jobs so many years. They put me in a situation. I was like, man, what's going on? They didn't put anybody on these joints, bro. But yeah. but so you checking out these sites and things like that.
Checking out the sites. I think working in, but eventually, like, you know, you at school, you had the work study program. So at UDC, they actually let you work in the IT department.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can work in the IT department, and I was doing nothing. Like, I was like helping repurpose computers. I was doing like some Active Directory work.
Man, that's something that that's more with people. Yeah.
No, they couldn't. You obviously it's DC Gov. So I don't have a clearance. I'm still in school. So I'm just they can show me what they can.
Okay.
Show me what they can. Yeah.
So you just took what you got, but did it make something like that? Did it make you feel like sad or anything? You just like just taking it as what God's giving you, or
I'm taking it as what it is. I'm taking it with whatever God put me in the opportunity. Right. At the previous years before that, I wasn't even knowing it. So the fact that I'm sitting here, I'm behind the desk, and I'm studying IT, and I'm actually aligning myself with my purpose. Like, that felt all the better right there.
And that's a very humbling answer. I don't really hear that too often. Because it's like with people, they get a degree and they assume like I need it all, you know, like, but that's a humbling. So you just taking it as it comes.
Yeah.
And then eventually you just got an opportunity like with the government or with this.
So from that, it came internships.
Oh, they came to intern. You got a clearance to that?
No, I didn't get the clearance. I actually don't have a clearance for that.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you're private sector.
I'm private sector.
Oh, okay. So how did that go?
So my first internship, I was working in the defense space. So I'm traveling an hour on a train to get to my internship. I go day one of my internship orientation. I'm the first one there. Because I knew I was coming from a long way. So like I had to I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna make an impression because I want to like see where this goes. So I was at that internship, I was working as a business analyst. So they're showing us things like Salesforce.
Salesforce big.
Yeah, Salesforce, yeah.
Salesforce big. You get good just off of Salesforce. Yeah.
You can get certifications like there's Salesforce certification. Yeah. So they're teaching us how to build dashboards, business analysts. So we're working in like the strategic partnerships. So I'm sitting there, I'm sitting in the meetings, I'm taking notes while like my managers and stuff, they're working with the vendors, they're trying to make acquisitions, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just taking notes, and through that was another networking opportunity right there, because at the end of that transaction, they actually pay us business cards. So I'm taking business cards, I'm starting to learn about these companies that they're working with. And then like in an internship, they're just, like they're showing you software, they're showing you what's the next best thing. Yeah. So back then that was like what, 2019. We're talking like RPX.
I know RPA. Yeah, robotic process automations. I do that very well.
We're talking like RPA, UiPath,
and it's big now. Like I know UiPath. UiPath big. If you learned that skill back then, like I know there was a couple influencers. I think his name was Cyrus. He talks about RPA every now and then, but that's a big one. Cause I mean, again, it's trending now, but you gotta get on it back then.
Yeah. So like I said, this is 2019. RPA was just kind of like an emerging technology. You look at the Gartner Magic Quadrant of like the businesses, all the organizations that have like a steadfast relationship, or just the leaders of that space. UiPath was like top 3, top 5 at the time, and that was in 2019. So you can only imagine where they are with the RPA space right now.
It's $1 billion company.
Yeah.
Yeah, that CEOs all over everywhere. Yeah. All the conferences, everything. Mm-hmm. And then so you learned that skill, and that's how you.
So it's 2020. Let's skip to 2020. Summer of 2020. Obviously, it's COVID. I'm going into my last semester. I'm actually working 2 separate internships right there, right then and there. One is with the place I'm at right now, and then I'm just doing software development. And my second internship, I'm doing both of these internships in the same summer. my second internship was actually doing some RMF work
Oh,
with a local company. So that I actually wanted to stay with the local company just doing the RMF work because I had better connections there. And I felt like I was learning like the RMF stuff a little bit better than just doing, software development. I think at the other one I was just doing like some Scrum Master work, just, a little bit of development. Long story short, we go into the fall. I'm in the middle of my last semester of at Unbred, and I get a call saying they got a position open. So just with the dedication and determination I had through those summer internships, I was able to land my first role before I even graduated from the school.
Okay, now, so from what you're telling me, so you went through the hardships, you got it, you got your degree, you did some intern, but the main thing I keep hearing you say is internships.
Yeah.
So that's very valuable. Well, to the audience, just make sure, like, when you're in school, just make sure you take advantage of those internship programs, because if you're not, you might not even, from what you was telling me, all those opportunities from internship connections, somebody was like, I know Donovan was killing it, so that's what happened. And taking a metro, doing 2 internships, it all paid off. And I like how you did it, because you didn't really force it, but you just did the work ahead of
Cutting corners, you just gotta put the work in. You want to get to a certain point in life, you gotta put the work in.
Yeah, what got you that mindset, though?
It's nothing really, like, it's only if if it wasn't college, it was military. I wasn't given a lot of options coming from the city, So like if I was going to stay in school, I was going to lock in. I always say lock in. Like, I'm gonna lock in and I'm gonna figure this out.
Okay, so tell me about your first job, what it was, and then tell me about like how it transitioned to healthcare tech.
So first jobs, it was always healthcare tech.
Oh, it's always healthcare.
Yeah, so I've been with the same place since I graduated.
Okay, so tell me about like what is the role? What do you do?
So when I first came to the business, they actually put me in this rotational program. Mm-hmm. And in the rotational program, you have a year, 6 months with one team, 6 months with another. So through that, and I landed the role I'm with now, strictly through networking.
Okay.
Yeah. So I came in as a software developer, as I said.
Oh, it was a software.
I was a software developer in like the security place. So that leads you to automation, right? Because now you understand how to develop scripts, and obviously you work with Python. You sit in there, you work on the project. And then I get to my role because at that point, this is 2022. We're trying to go to AfroTech. I heard about this AfroTech conference. I was like, what is this? And I started on my research about it. I was like, this sounds great. I want to go. So I'm trying to get the company to sponsor this. And I meet a few people. I'm networking, and like the woman that was supposed to speak at the conference that year, she actually works. She works with me, and that's all that.
Oh, yeah, this is up.
Yeah.
Yeah, AfroTech, big shout out to AfroTech. Y'all doing great things.
Yeah.
So you're basically doing GRC engineering in a way, right? RPA automation.
That was the matriculation, but security engineer.
Security engineers.
Security engineer.
Okay, like what is your day to day as a security engineer in the healthcare space? Is it a little different, or?
I'll say it's quite a few things. So in my role, we served as one of the highest points of escalation in the security in the IT realm. So when you, let's say,
can you explain what, and to the audience that don't know what that means, can you kind of elaborate with the highest points, escalation to?
So your baseline, when something goes wrong, you have just, there's anything and then anything can happen at any time in IT. Something's going to go wrong. Nothing's ever 100%. Something's always going to break. So anything from like your email not working, like your Outlook, all the way to like this particular application, I just can't get to it, like it's unavailable, right? So we talk about the CIA triad, like, and we can get into
the basics.
We can get into that later. So somebody puts in a ticket. If the IT can't take care of it, they escalate, right? So now you were just worried about, okay, is it a hardware thing? Okay, it's not a hardware thing. Maybe it's a software thing. Funnel it up to your other team, right? So like you get into the Outlook team. There's an Outlook team. And then if the Outlook team can't figure it out, you go to the next team. So is it this particular software that's causing this issue with Outlook, or what other issue you're having? So that's escalation.
So like tier 3.
Yeah, so you start from tier 1. Tier 1 is like your IT help desk, and then you come all the way up to like your higher points of tier 3.
So basically, if all things went loose, you the last person to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So like if you like it's like you I don't know if you're a football guy.
Yeah,
like
I know.
your safety is the last line of defense.
That's lit. That's it.
Yeah. So like we're like the safeties.
Okay.
And
So I got it now. So you the safety. You got to make sure you're protected. So you're doing that. So you're kind of more in the IT space, right? So you're kind of like fixing issues and things that's going on, and that's what you currently do. And you're kind of doing software engineering, all that stuff. So okay.
there's a component to it.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're familiar with the information security wheel, right?
Yo, break it down.
So I'm a security engineer. So a great security engineer, they think like the attacker, because we have to solve things proactively. So in the information security wheel, we will fall under a blue team. You have red team. Red team is going to be like your pen testers, your hackers, ethical hackers, things of that nature. So we have to think like proactively. How do we stop this threat before it even happens? Before you even matriculates into something that could tear the business down.
Okay. Now I got you. So like overall, like what are you like when you come into your job? Like what are you particularly doing? Like, are you coming in looking at emails, then look at the tickets, or y'all going to meetings on how to protect against certain threats? How does that work?
So in my team, I work with a CASB team. So a CASB team. So I explain how tickets are being escalated. So when you get to like the tier 3 or like the higher escalation levels of those security teams, okay, now like we got to talk change management, right? Change management is like you go through a process, you get you have like a committee.
A board.
Right. You have a board, you have a committee, and within that committee, you bring it to the team. Okay, this is what needs to be done. How do we go about doing this? You put in the change. And changes, they can't happen during business hours. They have to happen off business hours.
And I know you got certain days, right? And then too, like you got to create. Do y'all use Remedy?
No, I don't think so.
Y'all create tickets?
Yeah, the service now.
Yes.
Service now, yeah.
And you got to make sure it's processed. Even with the tickets, sometimes when I review them, you got to really make sure, because some of the people don't know. They'll just put anything on them sometimes. Yeah. But that could be an issue, because it's like, okay, we really need to get this secure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I understand. So like when you was doing the role, did you have like any mentors or anybody that was kind of like guiding you to do this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like to. There's quite a few people. There's people within my organization, that mentor me. I have my team. Right. I'm the youngest on the team.
Okay.
Currently, so I'm the youngest on my team. Everybody's senior level engineers.
And I know with you try to get back as much as you can.
I can. Yeah, I can, because it's always an opportunity for somebody that wants to be in my position, and I don't get keep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with zero trust and AI, how does that pertain to your role now? Because that's the new things that's coming out.
So zero trust essentially is never trust, always verify.
You always gotta verify.
You always got to verify. So we go back to the CIA triad, right? Integrity. Integrity is the I in CIA triad. So you don't give access to applications or systems or processes to people that have no business needing it, right? So you don't give access to a HR function that the finance team only needs to have, right? Yeah. So zero trust, yeah. So there's tools. There's a lot of tools out here that handle that specific function for you. And zero trust is so big today. Like you hear about it a lot. This was what the direction of where security is going, because when you transition from like hardware to like software, like post 2020, that was like a real big thing, right? Cloud.
Yeah, cloud is a big thing too.
Cloud is a big thing. So if somebody is interested in this, understanding more about a security engineer, look up the cloud, look up the different technologies or the companies that have like a foothold in the cloud space.
So like even with zero trust now, like even with AI, like you got to verify. And I use this analogy too. I've been kind of looking into it myself. You got to make sure it's authenticating, make sure there's, two-step factors, things that's in place so you can verify that there's a human element in it. So that's, I get with that perspective. But my opinion, I don't think zero trust is it's good, but if you do it too much, it's gonna slow everything.
Yeah.
Even in the AI space,
Yeah,
it'll stop everything.
I definitely agree with that, and I run into that issue a lot when we talk about latency, right? If everything is being locked down, that makes the access to whatever application or process become slower.
Yeah.
So now we got to think about so when I talk about change management, right? If somebody's putting a ticket in, they're probably talking about, oh, this doesn't work the way it's supposed to. It's slower now. So in our tier of security, we have to figure out why it's slowing down. Is it something that's needed to happen?
You got to think about that too. And I know from your perspective, I know people like ISOs. I know where you deal with GRC people, you probably be like, man, y'all slowing me down.
There's a lot of cross collaboration.
Yeah. I know y'all be having those meetings.
Yeah.
So sometimes they don't know, and I know you're probably on the spectrum. You actually know this is because a lot of system engineers, they don't care. They just want to put it out there. Yeah. So.
But there's a process, right? And we could talk about AI now. So AI comes with its own rules and regulations. So it should.
But is it regulated?
It's not. It needs to be. If it's not regulated, and well, I will say this: in the healthcare space, it has to be, right?
Oh, it has to be.
It has to be.
Okay.
It has to be. So healthcare is a little bit more. There's a lot more tedious work that needs to be done. Whereas another industry wouldn't have to be as heavily regulated on it, or it should be, right? When you talk about healthcare information or PHI, PII, anything that comes within that realm, we have to think, okay, how can AI affect this? How can AI affect the health information, the public health information?
Yeah, because think about it like this: it's data. The biggest thing with AI is data. With HIPAA regulations, people got issues that they don't want to get out to the public, and if it gets out, people can sell that or use it for bad purposes.
Yeah.
So I understand, and y'all follow HIPAA seriously.
Absolutely.
So what happens if a big breach happens? And some of that stuff gets out. Can somebody get in trouble?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's
and it happens all the time. Healthcare fraud is a big thing. Businesses lose millions of dollars from healthcare fraud, and with the incorporation of AI and the adoption of AI into some of our processes. That's why it has to be regulated, because when you think about the number one threat to an organization is human error. And if we're all using AI more and more each day, that leads to more human error. Because if you train your AI model to use a specific thing, okay, now you're training it to essentially somebody else, a bad actor can manipulate that. So you can manipulate data. And with AI, it's more rapid now, so it happens faster.
Yeah, because I got some boys that use AI, and they have a software to break into a bank. It's you're talking to a bank, but they configured it in a way you can kind of hack it. If you ask it the right question, even with AI, if you know how to write the right script, you can get everything you want.
Yeah.
And then like you said with human error, that's why even with the Bible, we ain't perfect. Look at all the AI videos coming out. It just didn't come out. It's not. A lot of people say AI, these images they coming out, with different races. But you got to understand, somebody had to get trained on something.
Yeah.
Who put that out there? So
I didn't do it by itself. We did that.
Yeah, we did this. How would somebody get into the healthcare space? Because I know that's outside of the government. That's one of the most secure spaces to get into. How would you do that?
So one thing about cybersecurity is an entry level. It's not. You quite literally have to have years of experience, or just experience in general, just understanding processes the regulations like HIPAA. You have to understand HIPAA. It's a framework. It's an entire thing that's its own beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's something you don't want to play with, and then too in that space, when the government's clearances again, if somebody's personal information get out there, that's even worse. So. Yeah, with becoming an engineer, if somebody was trying to become a cybersecurity engineer or an engineer in general, how would you do it? If you was to redo it, how would you do it to kind of help the audience?
So you can take this from a traditional standpoint, like myself, or you can take it from a non-traditional.
Do both.
So I know a lot of people, when you talk about breaking into tech, right? you break into tech, you're coming from a non-traditional background. So you're probably, okay, like, I want to get to this role. I see this information security engineer. I want to get to that role. What do I need to do? Projects. Start with projects. Start learning. You can literally use AI to give you projects. Use AI to become your mentor, and AI can give you projects, or it can give you things that you need to look into and study. And I think getting into the space now is going to be a lot better than what it was when I started in 2020.
You think so?
I think so.
I think it's a little harder. I think
It could. I mean, it just depends on the person. Yeah. So you put in the work for what you want to get.
that's a good answer.
Yeah. Put in the work for what you want to get.
Great answer.
Use AI. Like, use it. A lot of people, we get worried when we hear about artificial intelligence or the use of generative AI. Use it to assist you in your goals, right? Like I said, you can use it to mentor you. Use it to help you put a portfolio together, right? So when we talk about getting into the world of a security engineer, figure out, okay, you working on some projects. You can let's talk about like log analysis, right? You figure out how to use AI to teach you how to look at logs and read logs and make proper assessments of reports, right? And it's so many things that you will have to do. So that's one of the key things to do. You also probably want to have some coding experience as well. So I talked about Python. Python is going to be used for automation, right? And with the use of AI, we'll talk about AI again. That makes it easier for you because AI itself, whichever AI tool you use, all of that can be used to help you build out scripts. So now like it becomes easier to be more technically proficient.
Because even with Python, I'm learning myself. And I found out recently, Python is kind of one of the newer languages.
Yeah.
Yeah, like somebody literally created it. I'm like, whew.
Well, it's not as old as like your C++.
Yeah, C++ is you know, you're going to have a job for a long time, you know that. It's like learning Cobalt. You know what I'm saying? You got familiar with Cobalt.
So we also talk about, so we talked about automation. We talked about just technical skills in general, right? But after attending Thanksgiving this past week, I'm starting to realize, and I actually agree with this, as much technical experience that we want to have. You hear about getting these certifications, you hear about using these tools and technologies, you should also have soft skills as well.
Yeah. I think for me, I've been doing this podcast for a while. One skill I learned the most, I can talk to anybody. Mm-hmm. Just listening is a skill. I can listen to somebody, people tell you everything they need, that you get to help them from what they need. So listening is a skill. Communication. What other? Even dressing, how you present yourself. Like, what you think? What skills do you think that are the best soft skills wise?
I would say so. As a person who is a security engineer, an information security engineer, communication is going to be top tier, right? You need to be able to understand. So if you're working cases, you're talking to technical people. You're talking to non-technical people. You have to be able to explain at a high level to technical folk that understand at least a little bit about what's going on. Okay, this is what's going on. This is how we want to fix it. So somebody that's non-technical, you have to be able to make them understand that this is what's going on. This is how we can fix it, and don't do this again.
Yeah, because even me, I make that mistake every now and then. And that's why some people get that when I be trying to correct, because I know in our field, if we say the one, for example, I said something off the other day. I was like, for ports 443, I was like, the only protocols I'm running for TCP. Yeah. But that's not. It's many other ones, but I was just thinking in a different light. So they was confused. And the minute I said that, that's when everybody came, so, yeah. Or you can say, hey, they told me. Who told you? Even that slightest word, and you got to really slow things down. That's not burning. Just slow it down.
Yeah.
Because when I used to think, I was like, the faster you move is the quicker you go. No, slow it down.
Slow is fast and fast is golden.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I would do it. And what do you think about, do you think, getting in the space now, you got to have a personal brand? You think that's...
I would say it helps. So obviously you want to have technical skills. We also talk about soft skills as well, and having a brand just get your foot in the door faster. So utilize LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You got GitHub repositories. You can contribute to projects that's already out there.
So, but the thing that I'm noticing too, a lot of people just want you to help them, but you can help them, but sometimes you just don't have the time. I prefer people that just like, hey, I already know what do you need help with, you know? Like even the other day, there somebody hit me up on LinkedIn. And they was like, hey, can you help me? I have an interview. You know, I need help on the cloud. I'm not the best with the cloud. So since they told me what they needed, I just referred them to somebody, and I think she's good now. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it makes it makes the whole process a little bit better for you if you actively see somebody putting in the work.
Yeah, and I help. And then if they see you put in the work and they see you posting, they be like, well, I'm gonna give that person the job. Same thing in your analogy, internships, working. Somebody was like, literally, somebody just called you. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think you even applied for it. You know. So.
I literally went on. You like I said, you want to get somewhere, you got to put the work in. Even if you gotta, you know, if your typical hours of duty are 9 to 5. If you're not where you want to be right now, what are you doing at that 5 to 9? You should be learning something. In the space, you always got to be learning. Technology changes each and every day. I know they talk about like every 2 years, but essentially like in cybersecurity, your patch it could be a patch next week. It can be a patch tomorrow. You got to figure out how that affects like the whole system that you're working on.
Like even I think OpenAI has Atlas. And I don't know if you're familiar with Atlas. Like they had something happened with it recently, and basically had a CVE or a vulnerability.
Yeah.
And you gotta make sure you're aware on that. You know, so you always gotta stay 100%. And eventually, I might just start a company that just talks about trends and topics. I know a majority of them before they come.
I think that'd be a great idea. when you talk about like CVEs, critical vulnerabilities, and whatever the E is, like that's just a part of like your all-encompassing like technologist or security professional, right? So like it's technical skills, it's the soft skills that you would need, and it's also just your own like ad hoc research. So you should always be privy to like, you know, what security incidents that just happened. So when we talk about was that Cloudflare?
Yeah.
Cloudflare just happened. You should be, if you're interested in getting into cybersecurity, learn about some of these security incidents.
So I actually made a video about it. A lot of people said it was a cybersecurity attack. It wasn't really a cybersecurity. It was just a patch. It was just just a patch, literally.
But it shows you how one company can be the backbone of everybody else.
Because if you look, like if you go on a website, it says Cloudflare. Yeah, and yeah, so you gotta make sure you know, and that kind of messed up their brand for a long. They good now, so yeah. Also, when you attend networking events, how would you network? Because that's what a lot of people are trying to do now. Like, say if you see somebody, a lot of people like to talk to these speakers. You know, I mean, even when you went to Thanksgiving, how would you network in that space?
So I'm not like, I would say I'm not a speaker, but like I'm going to you. So when you go to like conferences, right? There's obviously going to be a schedule of events. You pick out the particular sessions that you will want to attend that will actually give you some value. A lot of conferences, you could probably just find something on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But like if you're intentionally looking for the specific topics of discussion, you go there, and then maybe the speakers have a little bit of time after they finish talking, and they offer you that time to go talk to those speakers, because they have the roles that you want. Also raise your hand, right? Ask questions. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, because like Earn Your Leisure was there. Right? You know, I don't know if you're familiar with Node, or I don't know if you know him, but he's a big person in the tech space. The one thing I respect about him, I think he's like 23, 24. He always raises his hand. He always makes sure he's known. He don't care who it is. So you never know, that person might help you in the future too. You know, so I respect that. Because that's how I do it when I'm trying to. A lot of people don't know it. I already know who I want to talk to before I go to any event. I'm like, I know I want to talk to this, and this person. I'm going home. You know,
you don't want to waste your time, right? Like, be intentional when you go network, and it's a conversation. So like, you know, that person has to offer knowledge. Like, what can you offer that person? What are you working on? What projects are you working on?
And one last question: how does your network have benefited you?
How's my network benefiting me? Honestly, like, I'm real big on community knowledge, right? So like, somebody always has something to offer, whether you're entry level, whether you're senior level, whether you're like C-suite, somebody always has something to offer. So you tap into your community, you tap into your resources. Even if that person that's sitting right next to you, they're not working a technical job, they know somebody that is. right? That teacher probably knows somebody in tech, and through that partnership or that relationship that you have with that person, you go and now you're moving into the next step of your journey because you just cultivated that relationship with that other person.
Yeah, and then too, you know, they see you doing the work. You know, a lot of people know somebody, but they don't want to put you out, and then you make them look bad. So, you know, even that, I had that in the past. I refer somebody, and then they'll be like, "Well, Chris, what's going on?" Yeah. No.
You put your word out there, and like you didn't really like you ruined that relationship. So it's networking really helps, man. Sadly, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna slowly close it out. So where can the audience find it?
So you can find me on LinkedIn. It's Donovan Surgick, DONOVAN SURGICK. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can connect anytime. I'm pretty open and available over there. If you want to schedule like a session with me, 30 minutes, you can do that. Yeah, I'll say LinkedIn.
Okay.
I'm working on the other social medias. You can find me on Instagram as well, but I'm a lot more intentional with what I talk about on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is where it's at. You know, I tell you, LinkedIn. Anybody, LinkedIn is underrated. I'll tell you straight up. You can find a lot of, and that's where everybody's at. Yeah. Believe it or not. So, what is something that you want to leave the? No, actually, let me go back. What is your goals for the next 5 years?
My goals for the next 5 years. So, I obviously want to, grow, and not only grow in my technical expertise, but I also want to tidy up on my own soft skills. I know I say you should be actively working towards something. Like I'm right now I'm in Toastmasters. Started going to Toastmasters.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I started going to Toastmasters, and like I'm working on like that communication aspect, being able to talk in public. So that's one of my goals. I'm obviously looking to get some certifications, up in my AI literacy. I'm actually working on a few personal projects as well, like agentic AI workflows.
Okay.
I do that.
That's gonna be big.
Yeah,
especially in cybersecurity.
Yeah. So I'm just taking what I know right now and trying to elevate that, and also just get my name out there.
What is one thing you want to leave the audience with? Because a lot of people are trying to get into cybersecurity, or just keep pushing to acquire more knowledge and just push to do. What's one thing you want to leave the audience with?
Yeah. So when you get the opportunity, because I know somebody's going to take with the value that we discussed on this on the call, and they're going to take this and they're going to run with it. Right? When you get that role, stagnation needs that elimination. This is technology. You always got to be working on something. So don't sit there and think that, okay, like I'm 2 years into my career, like I'm good now. Like, no, you're not. Like, figure out what's the next best thing. Figure out where the industry is going and take that and run with it.
Yeah, and I love that you said that. What a lot of people don't know, a lot of people say, "Oh, Chris, you're better at podcasts," or "Chris, you know how to, build stories or put it together." What they don't know is I go on YouTube, watch these videos, and I watch it for hours. There's always one piece of information I take and run with it. Mm-hmm. So you got to take that information and run it with it. If somebody's saying something 100 times, you got to at least, at that point, God, if people pray to God and ask for a sign, that's more than a sign.
Like that's your calling. That can be your calling.
Yeah, so thank you for coming on the show, guys, man.
Appreciate you.
And especially on a Saturday, so.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you everybody for watching the Tech Woke Podcast. I'm Christopher Paula. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, say something in the comments if anything resonated to you. Check out rmfacademy.io if you want to learn anything about RMF. But remember, everybody, get 1% better every day. Peace out. I'll see you on the next one.